Hello and welcome back to Pete's Classic Cycle. Pete here, and today is a very exciting day because with all my years of collecting and restoring and hunting out these bikes, I finally got something that's been evading me this entire time, and that is this, the 1969 Kawasaki H1 500. So what makes the 1969 H1 so special? Well, it was the first production year for the famed Kawasaki triples. It was also Kawasaki's first full-size motorcycle to break into the American market, and boy, did it ever leave an impression. Now, before all of you start fighting in the comment section, yes, with a front and rear drum brake, a frame that left more to be desired, and a 60 horsepower triple two-stroke, this is the original Kawasaki Widowmaker. Now, if you're an H2 750 owner and hearing that gets your panties tied in a knot, don't worry. Yes, historically, the 69 H1 was the original Kawasaki triple Widowmaker, but it's just a silly nickname. It's not a term that was branded by Kawasaki or handed down from above. It's just a nickname. So calling this the Widowmaker, or your H2 the Widowmaker, or your TL1000, or your Porsche 911 Turbo, or your Typhoon fighter jet, it doesn't matter. It's just a nickname, and as far as I'm concerned, the fact that more of these bikes are called Widowmakers than less of them only solidifies how awesome and radical these really were back in the day. Now that we can all agree on that or disagree, let's move on and check out this bike in more detail. Now, I will say I'm not an expert on these bikes. Being first year production, there's a lot of unique little details and nuances with these. So if I missed them, please leave them in the comments. Other than that, let's take a close-up look at this thing in all of its beautiful 69 H1 glory. Now for a bit of backstory on this bike. It actually came from one of my followers who reached out to me, and I was very grateful to be chosen to be its next caretaker, and it was his dad that purchased the bike brand new back in 1969. And by the sounds of it, this bike really was another family member. I guess they're going camping trips, and this bike would be on the back of the car or in the trailer, and the dad would take off on the bike for road trips. He took it across Canada a few times. He drove it or rode it to downtown Toronto every day to work, and I guess it was the sound of this bike coming home as all the kids were playing outside that would trigger the mom to call him in for dinner. So this bike literally was the dinner bell. It was a part of the family, and it really shows. You know, despite what a lot of people would consider a pretty rusty bike, it's all there. It's all complete. Its current condition, I would say, is just based on poor storage, and from what I recall, the only reason they stopped riding it is the kickstart mechanism actually broke, and the dad was putting it back together, and for whatever reason, just never put the bike back on the road. So it's a little unfortunate it wasn't stored the best, but again, it's a complete 69 H1. You just don't find them like this ever, with most of the correct original parts. It's even got the really cool and I would say rare factory saddlebags, which you could get out of the Kawasaki accessory catalog. And it's even got these mounts, which I believe are for the original factory front fairing. It'd be really cool if I had that as well, but hey, you can't win them all. Taking you through this bike in detail, again, original 69 H1. Big giveaway for that is this nice scallop tank. This was on the 69 and 70 models. This is a later production. This VIN number is around 5,000. I believe there's about 6,400 of these made. So it's a later 69. It's got the original motor to it, which is in the 4,700 range. It's got the original windowed carburetors. If you're ever curious about what people mean by windowed carbs, it's literally in the casting, that little window right there. It's not like the carburetor itself is special. It's literally just, I don't want to say defect, but just a different casting that has a little hole there. I can't comment if it's got the original Bridgeport cylinders because I haven't taken it apart yet. But again, most of the original parts are all there. Kind of coming up to the top here, looks like all the original gauges. This mount, I don't believe is original, that mirror mount, but the mirror, I believe, is original with the Kawasaki watermark and flag on it. Now, I know he did T-bone a Volkswagen Beetle back in the day, which is ironic because my dad actually did the same thing on his Z1. But this is the original mount here. I guess that they kind of taper off and have that little crimp mark. This mirror I don't believe is original because it's different than that one. The clutch perch is not original. As you can see, it's actually a right-hand brake lever perch with the mirror mount just flipped upside down. This is the correct front brake mount for the 69 H1. It's got like the angled bolt. You can see the two bolts are in different angles there. That is the original mount for the 69 H1. But again, if he was in an accident, it makes sense that this stuff would be replaced. The grips, I'm 99% sure, are not original. But like the rest of it looks pretty legit. I mean, some of you guys would know more than me. The knurl on the cable there, that's original for the 69. As you can see, that one's like got the straight knurls. This is like the diamond pattern. So that's original and correct. The mileage is decently high at around 30,000, but again, he literally rode this thing across Canada a couple times. It was his daily commuter into work. So that's to be expected, and really cool to see actually on an original 69. The fact he only rode this thing 8 years from 69 to 77 is pretty cool to rack up that many miles, you know, even in Canada where your riding season is only a few months at best. A few other things to note, the rear grab rail, it's got the reflector hole in there, which I saw from Rick Brett's video was for the 72 H1. Going down to the rear drum, see how those are kind of rounded off, they got a bit of radius there. That is not correct for 69, they should be squared off. I believe the rounded ones came in during 1970. Now, being a later production 69, it's possible, maybe, but I doubt it. I would say that this rear brake plate has been replaced. But again, this was also replaced, so who knows the exact history on the bike. We'll just go ahead, pop the seat here, and everything, again, looks to be all there. Looks pretty complete. You know, it's got the correct rounded head pins for the seats. Ignition boxes, well, they leave more to be desired. We'll see if those things even work. I might need to replace those. But overall, I mean, you really can't complain for a complete 1969 H1 that's, you know, been ridden and put away wet. This thing is absolutely incredible. And I'm incredibly grateful, again, to have the bike and be chosen as its next caretaker. Now, I know a lot of you guys will be looking at this bike thinking, wow, what an amazing candidate for restoration. It's all there. But let me remind you, being a first-year production motorcycle and basically a one-year only bike, there are a lot of very unique parts on this, which means very hard to find and very, very expensive, which begs the question, restore it or preserve it? Yes, obviously it'd be super cool to have, you know, a showroom condition over restored 69 H1, but then it just looks like every other H1 out there. When in the meantime, I've got this awesome kind of preserved in time, dirty patinaed H1. Maybe I just get it running mechanically, you know, new tires, bearings, brakes, go through the carbs, go through the motor, but leave all the beauty marks on it, leave all that rust, as it tells a story about the bike and shows what these things, what happens to them. You know, it really is a 50-50 question. I'm not exactly sure what to do with this thing. So maybe you guys should let me know in the comments what you think. Preserve it or restore it. Either way, I'm incredibly excited to have a 69 H1. Like I said earlier in this video, I've been after one of these for years. I've had dozens and dozens of triples. Never have I come across a 69 H1. So I'm incredibly grateful and honored to be the next caretaker and custodian of this bike. Again, let me know in the comments what to do with this thing. Preserve it, restore it, and what should I call it? I feel like this thing deserves a name. Let me know. All right, guys, that's it for me. And as always, please ride safe.